up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with a remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students.
Hello students, today we will take Unit 1, poem number 1.3, Have You Ever Seen? Here, the name of the poet is not mentioned, so we can term it as an anonymous poet. An unknown poet, when the name of the poet is not mentioned, it is termed as an anonymous poet. Let us first look into the central idea of the poem. This is an interesting and amusing poem where the poet has made use of plenty of puns for fun and enjoyment. Now let us see what a pun is. We spell it as P-U-N. A pun is a figure of speech where a word can be used in different contexts or has different applications. In grammatical language, it can be called as a homograph. Here, the reader, that is, you and I, are expected to enjoy the play on words and appreciate how the same words can have different meanings. Now look at these pictures. You might find some reference of these pictures in the poetic lines which I am about to read. These are some of the interesting lines of the poem where we have certain puns, and we will also read out the different applications of those words. Have you ever seen a sheet on a riverbed? Has the foot of a mountain any toes? Does the needle ever wink its eye? Why doesn't the wing of a building fly? Can you tickle the ribs of a parasol or open the trunk of a tree at all? Have the hands of a clock any left or right? Can the garden plot be dark and deep? Now, if you look at the first line, the word bed. Bed can have more than one meaning. It can be a piece of furniture or a bottom of a river or sea. The second word, foot. It's a base of a mountain or a part of a body. The third word, eye. Here it can be part of a body or the needle's eye. The next word, wing. Part of a bird's body that helps it to fly. And the other meaning of it can be a section of a building, a portion of a building. The next word, ribs. Again, here it is part of the body or it can be part of the umbrella. The next word, trunk. Trunk is the strong part of the tree and it can also be the elephant's trunk. Hands, here parts of a clock. These parts of the clock show us the time, and it can also stand for parts of the body. And the last word, plot. Plot is an area of a land and it can also be an evil plan, like somebody made a plot to steal someone. to rob someone. So, an evil plan can be called as a plot. Now, what makes this poem so special? Let us look into the special features of this poem. The first one, it makes imagination run wild. Run wild means you can really be rich in imagination. Nothing can stop you from imagining things. Second, one imagines all sorts of things. And the third one makes one realize the beauty of the poem. Now, let us see the poetic devices which are used in this poem. The first one, rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of this poem, there are 3 stanzas, and all the stanzas have the same rhyme scheme. It is AABB. Students, when you look into the textbook, you have 3 stanzas, and the rhyme scheme of the stanzas is AABB. What are the figures of speech which are used in the poem? Figures of speech, they beautify the poem. And therefore, if you look into the poem, the figure of speech which is very dominating, which is used all over into the poem, there are 2 of them. One is pun. We have already learned what is a pun. And the second one is interrogation. What is an interrogation? In this figure of speech, a rhetoric question is asked. Such questions are asked not to get any answer, but to emphasize a point or a fact and beautify the poem. So, let us conclude what we have learnt in this poem. At the end, we will understand what the poet is actually trying to tell us. Reading the poem diverts one's mind. It makes you forget your pain and or sorrow for some time and makes you laugh. So, students, an advice to you, to all of you, be happy, stay safe, and keep smiling. Thank you.